All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Resh Mahaber. I am going to be your instructor for the next 14 weeks in MAT, Math 1800, which is pre-calculus with intermediate algebra trig as well as some at the beginning parts of it. So I just want to let you guys know that this is the course, it's the first of their kind. So we're going to be doing a lot of trial and error, and I'm going to be honest with you, the best way to make sure this works well for both of us is if we communicate. So I will be on top of my email 24/7 for the most part, as well as I've installed many things into the course that will make it very, very easy for you guys to have opportunities to participate and ask questions, okay? But before we even get started, I want to make sure that you're set up for the course. And what set up for the course means is you need to have certain things in order to do this. So first thing, you're going to need a personal computer. When I mean by personal computer, it can't be something you share with Uncle Pookie or cousin Cece or Resh, that's your instructor that wants to borrow your computer every Tuesday. That can't happen. You need your own specific device because you're going to need it, and you're going to need to set up in a location. So the flexibility you get by taking an online course often has its own way that we're going to have to conduct business to make sure it's legitimate. You are still getting a grade that is as good as a Math 1800 class in class. So we need to make sure that certain things are installed, and I'm going to try to make those as fluid as possible for you. But before we get into all that, I need to make sure that we just know the prerequisites. So we need a computer that's our own. Second thing, you're going to need a webcam, and you're going to need a microphone. I cannot reiterate this enough. Most laptops come fully equipped. So if you have a laptop, you're pretty much going to be good to go outside of just making sure you set your computer up to let it do what you want it to do. I am not an IT guy, so you might have to call our IT on Wayne's campus to help them set up your computer to run the programs or the software that we're going to need. So, but I'm going to walk you through that, okay? For the beginning stuff, the intro stuff. If you have like an Apple versus PC question, I might not be the guy because I'm a PC guy all day. I am not the Apple guy. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, number one was the personal computer. Number 2 and 3 are your microphones and your camera. Okay, so those are very, 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 very important, especially because of the software we're going to use is going to turn your PC into your proctor. And that's kind of how this works. So it's a state-of-the-art tech that's going to allow your computer to basically proctor your exam for you or your quiz for you. And it's going to be great. Okay, it's going to be great, at least from what I can see. And if we run into snags, just be patient and just let me know, and we'll reach a conclusion. I promise you. All right, so that's the third thing. And here's the fourth thing. You're going to need a quiet environment. And when I mean a quiet environment, an environment where you can set up your devices, your microphone, your computer, and your camera, and you can do what I'm doing right now. I'm away from my wife. I'm away from my dog, even though she makes as much noise as possible. I can't let those things get into this setting because this is how I'm submitting my grades, and this is how I'm going to be doing things. So this is the mindset you got to have. So you're going to need your own quiet place. So that means a public library or a public place is not going to be it for you. For some of the things that we're going to do, especially for your testing situations. You're going to need a room for X amount of minutes, most times it's an hour, where you can sit there and you can go through a problem. Now, hour or a little more. So for example, because you're going to be inputting a lot of your things, nothing is handwritten. Everything will be submitted online, and I'll show you how to text and write things in the system when we get to it. But everything will be online. So you're going to need to be accustomed to how to write things, how to do things. Think of this as a video game training module. You're going to need to go and figure out how to move your character and how to get him to do the things you want to do. Your computer is the thing, right? So we're going to go through the entire setup, and I want to take time, make sure you have those materials. If you do not have those materials, this is not the course for you, and if it's not going to be a very productive situation. So if you're thinking this is going to be different, if anything, this might be a little bit more intense than a normal course, okay? Because you need those materials, okay? That's number one. Number 2, you are also going to need a mindset of someone who gets things done, okay? Because everything in this class is checklists, okay? If you can get through the video, you get through the homework, you go through the discussion, you go through the other homework, and then finally you're ready to take your quiz at the end of the week, okay? Now that's how it's supposed to go, okay? But you have to be motivated. So if you need constant reminding, if you need someone to be on your back, if you need someone to hold your hand while you're doing problems, this is not the class for you. Okay, I've just got to be honest with you. I'm always going to try to tell you the best, put you in the best place to make the best decision for your academic career. If that's the type of learner you are, this is not it. This class is made for someone who can be structured, who can do isolated learning, and who can communicate online without actually needing to interact a whole lot. And I don't know many people that can take it, but there's a great demand for the class. I'm assuming the need for it to be there is there. So let me know if again, those two things, the materials can't make it, or the mindset, you can't adopt it. This is not the class for you. So that's just my disclaimer up front. Okay, but I do want to take the time and say, if you guys are here, you're ready to hang out, welcome to the course. Can't wait to let you guys see it. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get started. Let's do it. I'm going to try to keep this as brief as possible, and I took some side notes here just to make sure I mention everything. So if I'm looking off camera, it's because I'm just trying to make sure I get you guys everything you need, all right? I know a lot of you guys aren't even looking at my face. What you're looking at in my screen right now is my attempt to show you what Canvas will look like for you. So when you go to your courses here, and you click on Canvas, here is Elementary Functions Section 10, which is your course, okay? So you click here and then wait for it, and depending on how many people are online will either make your life way stressful or way not. I feel like everyone's on Canvas right now. So if you look at this and you click home, all you see is this first initial module. Every week will be laid out like this, okay? I'm going to try to make it as cookie cutter as possible and literally a checklist, okay? Literally, if you click on this as you come up, there's your discussion. Everything is dated for you, so you know exactly what you need to hit. Now, I want to draw attention to two things before we get started. These little circles, if you glance over them, it says must view this page. So if you ever see those little circles anywhere, in order to tap into any of these are all supposed to be very clickable. But if you don't do these, you won't be able to access these until you tap into these. And that's why this is highlighted, because you're supposed to go in this in order. That one, that one, that one, and that one. Got it? So it's very, very simple, but I need to go through and explain to you everything. So the place we're going to start, so this is where you're going to spend your entire life outside of the first day, is right here. But what we need to do is get things set up. So if you click under syllabus, I'm going to walk you guys through the syllabus really, really briefly. I expect you guys to read your syllabus as you should for all of your classes, because the syllabus is your contract. It's the contract that makes us a binding promise that you're going to do what you're supposed to do as a student, and I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do as an instructor. So you need to make sure you read your syllabus in all classes, okay? So here's my name. Here's my office in FAB, if you ever Faculty Administration Building. If you guys are close to campus or are taking on campus online, come introduce yourself. Like, networking is part of college, guys, so please feel free. My email is there. That's my cell phone, ladies and gentlemen. I will accept. So because of the whole scam thing and people are constantly calling me, I don't pick up my phone. But you could text me and get a response back. Just make sure you introduce yourself and let me know who you are and for which class. I have a lot of classes this semester. So text messages via my cell phone, or if you'd like, emailing me will be sure to get you a response. It just won't be as quick as text message. Okay. Office hours, and we're gonna understand what office hours means a little later. But office hours are Tuesday and Thursday at 5 p.m. And notice I don't have an end time. It's because I go as long as people want to go, or until I have other obligations. Like if you see my wife walk behind us and say it's time for me to wrap it up, it's because I'm running a little long and you guys have questions. But that's ideally what I want. Please ask questions, okay? Below that is my YouTube page. Please go subscribe to that, because that's where all of your lectures and videos are. I've pre-made all the videos, and it's a great resource to use after you've left the course. And most of you guys, if you go to Calc 1, you're going to want to refer to this later, okay? So the course's goal is for you guys to be ready for Calc 1. I don't know if you guys are stopping after this course, but you'll be ready to go on to Calc 1. Okay, so this is what I mentioned in the first part of the video. The materials. The hardware items here. You will need the following to participate: a personal computer, webcam, a quiet environment. I should have put microphone here. Oh, I didn't highlight it, but it's here. A microphone, okay, and a quiet environment. And not to mention the textbook, okay? I sent an email to you guys in the announcement, right, with a handout that said Section 10 registration material, if I remember correctly. It was in the announcement. So go to Canvas and go to the announcement, and it'll tell you how to log on to the course so you can access your homeworks, okay? And I'm going to walk through and show you what it's all going to look like so you know what familiar pages you should see, okay? Also, there's a software requirement. Read through this, guys. Everything, and follow the instructions to a T. This is what's going to be able to transform your computer into a monitor. And it's a person to monitor you, okay? There's two pieces of software we're going to use. Lockdown browser, and what this does, it's a special browser. That's all it is, but it disables your abilities to do things on your computer. So literally, it locks down your computer. So you can't go on other web pages. You can't access your calculator. You can't access anything that I haven't said is standard. So as soon as you open the browser, it will take you to Canvas, and then from there, you just log in like normal and go through the process. This is something you must download, so please download here where it says download instruction for Lockdown browser, okay? Webcam requirements, also read through that, because if you have an older webcam, and I mean like 1992, and it's too granular, and this software recognizes, without getting too technical, it is the first of its kind in terms of machine learning and facial recognition. So it's going to be determining where you're looking, how you're looking, who you're looking. If you're looking off screen too long, is there something taped on your wall? And then the thing will have you actually take the camera over or scan the room again to see if there's anything in the room. It's very interesting how it works. So please make sure you get these set up and you call CNIT should there have been any issues. Okay, so that's the first thing, okay? Once you're all set up, you should be ready to rock and roll. You're going to need this for your quizzes or exams, okay? For your quizzes or exams. So, well, quizzes and exams. So the first assignment, I have it required, so it'll get you set up. I need you guys to figure this out now, because if you have a quiz due this Friday, which you do, by the way, okay, you have a quiz due this week as well as homework. If you don't know how to submit your answers and you don't know how to set up your computer, there is no submitting anything. You're pretty much out of luck. So I want to make sure you guys are in a good space to actually be ready to take your quiz when it's released and you have the full amount of time for whatever fits your schedule, rather than trying to do all the setup stuff when the due dates are on and going. Because at that point, you're going to run into deadlines, and like I said before, you got to be structured and do this all early. If you don't do it early and you're waiting till the last minute, you'll just take a hit in your grade. And that's just how it's going to have to work, because there's just not enough time for too many double backs. And you got to ask questions. You got to be on top of it. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know. All right. All right. So that's that. The textbook. This is the instructions I sent with a special sheet. We are going to be using WebAssign. I have assigned all the homework for the entire semester already. Work at your own pace. Watch the videos at your own pace. My recommendation, though, don't go too far ahead, because as we get closer to test time, you want to make sure a lot of this stuff is fresh, or quiz time, you want to make stuff is fresh. You don't want to go so far ahead that the current week's quiz is, you don't even remember what's on it, okay? It's not about completing the course. It's about making sure that you can actually do the material when you need to recall that material, okay? Prerequisites, I'll let you read this. I've already emailed a lot of you guys, well, not a lot of you guys, about 5 or 6, saying that I don't know what's going on because you don't seem to have the prerequisites to be in the class satisfied. If you don't, you must drop the course. I've talked to everybody in the university saying, well, what would the appeal process be? They're saying because it's an online course and they have other products to choose from, this is not the course to do it with. Okay, so if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, the material we're going to cover in the textbook are these chapters. Okay, you can read through this. It's not a big deal. I'm going to be operating 100% in Canvas and communicating with you guys that way, so you have to be good. So if you notice at the end of this message, I said I recommend students to download the Canvas phone application. If you download a Canvas app, I can send you things and you'll get the notifications readily, okay, connected to your calendar. Okay, the YouTube playlist, I have it on here in the modules too. I'll unlock it later. It's called your video library, but you can go to the YouTube and look at the playlist for the class and it will do perfectly fine. Okay, so that's that. Let's talk about the grading policy, because I think this is always very important. The homework, okay, it's pretty equally dispersed. So if you don't do stuff, it's low stakes to high stakes, okay? So your first kind of homework is the homework that's assigned through WebAssign. It's only 5% of your grade, but I'm going to be honest with you, it is the #1 reason why people fail in any class. right? You need to do the homework because that 5% is what I'm going to choose questions for the other kind of homework known as your type submission homework, where I'm going to ask you a question online, probably 3 or 4, just to see if you're competent at this point with the material. And if you are, you'll be able to do them with no problem, okay? So a type submission. Once you do the type submission, I will go through manually, and they all don't score them initially because I need to go through, and it's an essay response basically, right? You're doing the work in there, but you're typing it using the software. So I'm going to go through that with you, okay? So that's 15% of your grade roughly, and these are all or nothing things. When I mean by all or nothing, I mean, guys, you get credit just to be doing the homework. It's attempting it. It's about you growing and making controlled mistakes. So when you take your quizzes or exams, you're in a good place, okay? So that's the whole point of it, okay? Now, after you do all that, the second piece is the discussion, okay? Every week, you'll be required to submit 2 questions, okay, that you couldn't answer, okay? And with the work. So you need to put the work in there that, I attempted this, where I'm at, where am I going wrong, kind of a thing, okay? Once you do that, then after the due date's done, then you have to respond to 2 of those and say, hey, this is what you could attempt, okay? And the whole thing is attempting to give somebody else that has made that submission a possible conclusion of how they can get out of it. And a lot of you guys are smart, and you guys are very techie, and I feel like you guys can communicate very, very well if I give you a computer. So talk to each other and figure out the solutions to them, okay? Your quizzes. And the discussion part, that's 10% of your grade. So please make sure you participate in discussion every week. It literally is going to benefit you if you just do it, okay? So just do it. Quizzes. You'll have 11 quizzes, okay? So every week there's not an exam, will be a quiz. So this week will be your first quiz on Friday. Well, it will be unlocked on Thursday night, and it has to be completed by Saturday. And that's probably going to be the quiz schedule from here on out. Thursday night at midnight all the way to Saturday. That quiz or that exam must be completed. So quizzes are 20% of your grade. Out of the 11 that I'll be giving you, I'll be taking your top 8 as it. So I'll be dropping the lowest 3. Okay. Exams. You will have 3 exams in this course, okay? They're high stakes. Each one is 10% apiece, so it's 30% total. And you got to make sure that you're ready for the material. And I will unlock those at the end of the week, same kind of schedule, okay? But those weeks are tentatively when the exams will be. All right, the final. The final is 25% of your grade. It'll be in the same kind of testing situation that you have been all semester. Again, please make sure that you have the necessary requirements to do the testing, which is I have a phone, or not a phone, I have a personal computer, I have a camera, and I have a microphone, and I got a quiet place to set up, because if you don't, you won't be able to take anything that is worth your quiz or exam scores or the final. So please make sure you're ready to rock and roll. And the system won't do it. If I can't track you with the system, then and then your progress, then it doesn't really matter what we're doing there. So we got to make sure we're ready to rock and roll. Okay. I do have a few important policies, and I know I've been speaking fast, guys. I'm gonna slow down, but I'm trying not to make this a 45-minute video. I do respect your guys' time. After all, that's why you're taking an online class. Okay. So here we go. Important policies. You got homeworks, you got 2 types, but guess what? They are low stakes, 5% and 10%, right? The online is 5%, and the detailed homework that you'll be typing inside the system is 10%. But guess what? It's my experience that students who don't do the homework, there is no like hat tricks that's going to magically happen unless they're just taking the class to get a better grade in the previous class. So I have little fail-safes here to encourage you to work a little harder to make sure that you give the homework the time it deserves. Because I'm pulling your quizzes and tests from the homework. Just being honest with you. Okay, so if you don't do the quiz or tests, you're not going to be able to do the homework. Okay, so with the detailed homework, if you miss more than 4, it's a wrap. Okay, you won't be able to get anything higher than the C in the class. And this is the standard for all the other classes I teach in 1800 as well. So I see no reason why we couldn't extend the policy to you, because you guys are in a flexible situation as well. No one with more than 6 homework onlines. Now here's the thing. Online homework is about controlled failure. I just need you to attempt stuff and see what works and see what doesn't work, okay? So it's not about perfect scores. I'm either going to say you got to complete or you didn't get a complete. A complete means you got bigger than 70%. Incomplete means you got less than 70%, okay? If you get more than 6, then you're going to end up with a C in the class. And it's the same standard policy as the rest of the department. So please let me know if you got any questions. I'll be more than happy to answer them. So homework, even though it's not high stakes, it's still enough to change your letter grade significantly if you don't do it. Okay. Let's keep it moving. All right, grades. Quizzes are 10%, tests are 30%. Okay, we did that. Grading scale, you're good. Okay, if you have any religious holidays coming up, please let me know if there's a due date on that date, and then we'll schedule that due date for another day. Okay, if you have a religious holiday coming up. Okay, okay. So now I need to talk about this in a big kind of way. All the things that I talked about to you in terms of the software, they're not fail safe. Okay, I'm gonna let you know exactly what both of the softwares are doing right now. The lockdown browser locks it down. Respondus monitoring system looks at your body tension and looks at the room positioning. Okay, if it for any reason thinks that there's someone else in a room with you or you're doing something illegitimate, how does he know this? It is recording you. Okay, it's a facial recognition software. It's recording you, and that is going to be on record for me to review. Should anything, if the system stops, it means that they're saying there's something illegitimate in the room. They cannot take the exam like this. So then we'll have to figure out some situation of what's going on. But if that's happening and I record it and I suspect cheating, then we're going to have to go through the normal investigation protocol that Wayne State has for online classes. So they've recently instilled this protocol that because of plagiarism and cheating and using things online, it's going to be that they're afraid that grades are not going to be truly what grades are, right? People with A's really should have C's. You know, how would you feel if you had an A in a class the same as me, but I cheated my way through it and I have the same A, and I'm applying for the same job as you? That is ridiculous, okay? So please make sure that we keep this on base, because I would hate for this to make a ding on your guys' transcript. All right, SDS, if this applies to you, please let me know. Last day to drop, I'm not for sure. This is the wrong date. It's not November 10th. I don't know what the last day to drop is. Please check it yourselves. And the rest of this you can read, okay? Now you see I have the entire course laid out here from the beginning, okay? But I don't want you to look at this. After this video, you shouldn't be running back to the syllabus ever again. You should be totally good, okay? So all of this is just everything up front and is part of the syllabi. Now, click on the announcement. If you click on the announcement, this is where you would go to get that information I was talking about for the book, okay? So if you click on this announcement, boom, this is what I sent you on January 5th. And if you read through this, it tells you how to get access to your book. When you get access to your book, this is what you'll have. A web assign. Okay, you'll get something that looks like this. And it's not coming up. It's taking its time. Okay, there we go. All right, you'll get, this will be the page that says Cengage book. I would recommend to you, if Cengage Unlimited is available and multiple classes are using it, it will save you a tremendous amount of money. Please buy Cengage Unlimited and then use that, because then you get all of their material for the semester for like $130, $40 or something. I don't know. It's cheap. It's better than buying 3 books, I'll tell you that. All right, so while this is coming up, when you go in here, you'll see that there's nothing currently due because we're not in that timeline yet, and no students are in here yet because you guys haven't gotten the email from me yet. But this is where all of your online assignments are. Literally, you just click on them and go and do them. It's really simple, really, really simple. Okay, so do that, buy the book, so we can get moving with the course. So that was the syllabus we just talked about, and then that was the initial announcement that talked about it. Okay, so read through it. Once you get done with those two, there's a little message down here for you guys who are coming in late to the course. This message is the next step in the process. So what should you do now? Go to modules. It's time to get started, okay, in a big kind of way. And when I mean by started, you need to get your browser and your computer set up. So click on Module 1. This is the first weekly discussion. Every week you will have a discussion, okay? And the discussion sometimes will be something about what your opinion is. It'll be something about, what are some things you like. Bottom line is we are in a community right now where we're talking digitally, okay? So these submissions can be video submissions. These submissions can be written. Video submissions are way quicker because what you can talk about in 5 minutes will take you 5 hours to write about. I'm not lying about this. Okay, so here for this week, I want you to introduce yourself, name, major, hobby. I gave you some ideas of what to talk about. I'm also going to do this so you know who's talking to you, and I'll probably send you guys an announcement so you know who your instructor is. And then finally, you're going to submit your bio, and then you're going to reply to 4 other people. That's it. So after the due date, which is the 8th, you have a couple days to go back in and reply back. So you'll get the full credit for the assignment which is 10 points possible when you go back in. So 5 points for the first submission of your items for your biography, and then 5 points for the other ones online. Now, normal weeks is not like this. Normal weeks is going to be ask 2 questions, answer 2 questions, right? And I will pair you with somebody new every week, so you'll have a brand new person. So my goal is by pairing you with somebody new every week, you will have a full rubric of people to pull from to help you answer questions. I won't be available 24/7. I can't be, right? I'll answer things as you send it to me, but guidelines is 48 hours. By that time, you have something else to do, and the course is not stopping. So you need other people. It can't just be you. I will encourage you to use the Math Resource Center, which is located in the Faculty Administration Building, which is where the math department is. There's a lot of tutors on staff there. Or come see me at office hours, which I'll get to in a second. Okay, so that is the discussion board that we got from modules. So this is where you always come back to modules. So let's say you do this part, boom. Okay, you go back to modules. Okay, this can be done any time in the week. It has to be done before the 8th. Okay, so you got to make sure you keep track of the dates. Now, for this particular section, these 2 circles, like I said before, means that you can't do the rest of these until you do these 2. Okay, this is a homework assignment based off of this video. I want you to watch this video. It talks about this video, and then this video is, hey, actually, the video is this video that we're recording now. That's pretty funny. And then I want you to go through and do the homework here, which is the syllabus, which is going to talk about, do you understand the syllabus? Do you understand how to input stuff for your scores? Sorry, guys. Next. And then literally, you're going to spend your time here. And this is what you're going to do for January 6th. Now, once you get to the end of January 6th, this is all what you need to do. And you're going to notice something. Notice you're learning section 1.7 while you're doing section 1.5. The goal for me, for you guys, is you're learning something new that you can think about while you're perfecting the stuff you already know. Okay, and that's how the entire course runs. Okay, when you get to section 1.8, you'll notice that everything won't be online homework. If you click this one, it'll be another homework assignment, detailed. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to tell you about the homework assignments, the quizzes, and the tests, and the final. Okay, all of them are random. And what I mean by random is the material is randomized so that everybody in the class gets a custom exam. Nothing is just for you, is like one size fit all. It makes it impossible to do your exams together. Okay, in a way, but I want you guys to be able to see what you know and not have you guys get contaminated in by other people. Okay, so that's the whole point. All right, down here is quiz time. Okay, and then is the quiz review. This quiz review is not something you hand in. As you notice, it's 0 points, but it has way more problems. I'm going to tell you to do that. Why? Because it will tell you exactly what's going to be on the quiz Friday. If you don't do it, then you're saying you're good with your abilities, and that's fine. Okay, but you might have to suffer the consequences. Everything that requires browser lockdown will say it. Okay, so please make sure you know that this is your quiz. Okay, and then the homework and video for that day. Right. So it literally, you're just gonna follow the calendar and go. Just don't forget, you got to do the discussion, which is not on that day. It's at the top. I'm gonna have a video like this at the beginning of each module, so you get what you're trying to learn by the end of the week. I'm going to try to not make it as long as this one, but it's the first video and we have to get started up. All right, so I think we've covered everything. We've covered the module, which is where you'll be living. We covered the homework, which is what you're going to do here, okay? Now we need to talk about a few things. This discussion piece right here is not going to be in your section. It's not supposed to be here. So you'll always access everything from the modules, FYI. Conferences. Let's talk about conferences. I have office hours every Tuesday and Thursday from 5 p.m. Okay, where's that going to be held? Well, you're going to click on conferences for that. And I most of the time will send an email when I'm getting ready to have office hours just to remind you guys that office hours today is going on currently. But if you click on conferences like I just did just now, I haven't made any conferences yet because we haven't had any office hours. So there's nothing there yet. Okay, but when there is, there will be a conference for you to jump into. And that conference, you can actually attach your webcam, attach your mic, and you can talk to me just like I'm talking to you now. And type in, like, let's say you say, Resh, I'm really struggling with number 37 in section 1.5. We'll pull the book up, we'll look at it as a class, and then, because you'll be sharing my screen. Okay, so you can choose to use webcam, you can have your face. You can choose to not use your mic, or you can just type into it like it's a text bar, right? And just I'll try to answer your questions that way. But most office hours will be like an hour, hour and a half. So the first discussion actually has office hours kind of wired into it. Don't forget, for the first discussion, you have to submit a picture of yourself. So people know who you are, and also I'm going to use that to cross-reference, and every time you take an exam that you are who you are, using the software. So it's a lot of tech that's going on here, so we can make a secure course for you, and at the same time have a course that makes sense for everyone. Okay, and it's reliable. I can't be we don't want to hand grades out, right? Handing grades out is not the goal. All right, so let's just recap. So just to make sure, that's Isis, my dog, who is old and squeaking for no reason. All right, so let's recap. So first things first, if you look on here, oops, I changed screens. If you look on here, then you'll know that you'll live in your courses, just like so. Okay, once you get the course set up and you go through and you set up Respondus, the lockdown browser, which is going to be a thing you'll download to your computer. It'll look like, that's what I was going to show you, like this. Okay, you're going to click lockdown browser to actually use the browser before you start your quiz tests or final exam. Okay, and then here, just follow the instructions. Just do not forget that you have a discussion that's there. And of course, look in conferences to participate in office hours Tuesday and Thursday nights. Okay, if you have any questions. I think that is all for now. I know the video is a little long, but I need you guys to make sure you know what's happening here. Okay, this is the first of its kind. So what that means is there'll be a lot of trials and errors on our part, meaning mine, and hopefully your guys' understanding. But I want to see those two mesh together so you guys actually have a really, really good experience. All right, so I think I've hit everything on my checklist. I think so. Yeah, I hit everything on my checklist. I hit office hours, exams. Okay, disabled. That's good. Normal day. Oh, the lectures. When you take the lectures, okay, and you actually look at the lectures, like you're going to click on, much like this video, right? You're going to click on this one, this video lecture right here, and you're going to see that that's just me actually doing problems with you guys. There's many different ways you can use this. Here's a helpful hint to you. Pause the video. You see a problem, pause it, attempt it on paper, see if it's you actually know what you're doing, okay? And then you can see me do it for you, and then you're like, oh, well, I know what's going on, and it's going to build your confidence, because on Fridays, it's going to get tough, okay? So I'll give you an example. The online homework, no time, just answers only. The hand in detailed homework, the homework that you're going to submit and type on, which I got to show you in a second. So if you click here, okay. Oops, wrong assignment. And once you get started, you just keep hitting next, and I give you the next thing in the sequence. Or maybe I needed to go back. I think I needed to go back. Yeah, right. Or maybe 4. Let me see if I go 4, what happens. Oh, goodness. Please pause for one moment, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to pull it up. All right, let me just click on what I want. I'm so sorry, guys. I wasted like 6 seconds. All right, so you see this homework right here that says detailed homework 1. So you click on that. Okay. It says it's a quiz. It says take a quiz because that's the way the system has it set up. But it's worth 5 points, right? And it's all or nothing, right? So you either get all 5 or you don't get all 5. So the point is, it's about you attempting and getting the right scores. So you see this. This is the thing you have to solve. So this is how you're going to input it. Play by play. Here we go. That's not it. There it goes, finally. My computer's super slow. So literally, you're going to write your play by play in here. So if your next step in the process, you need fractions. You'll say x plus 1, O divided by, I don't know what the next thing was, x plus 1 equals blah, 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 blah. Okay? And then when you hit insert equation, what it does is it makes a picture of that, and then it shoves that picture in here. So that's the first step in your equation. Then you hit it, insert it again, and then you go. And that's how we're going to grade things from here on out, okay? So inputting things are very, very simple. It's very, very easy to track. The issue is time, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys are not accustomed to inputting your answers this way. But that homework assignment is going to be like this. The tests and quizzes are going to be like this, and the finals are going to be like this. So what I've done, and instead of giving a normal 5 minutes per problem or so, what I normally do for handwritten stuff, I've actually gave you more like 8 to 9 minutes per problem. Okay, and this gives you the time to get acclimated in case you don't know where something is. All right. I think this is everything. Okay, so I've given you the homework. I've showed you how the inputs are. I've showed you how everything is. And then you always want to hit submit when you submit your quiz, and then it'll put it to grading, which I need to look at it to see if it's good. And it's not a quiz, it's a homework assignment. It just says quiz, okay? Because that's the way the system is set up. So go figure, okay? So that's everything. That is everything. And then the good news is that if you go back to modules, it's always there for you, okay? And the very, very last thing I want to show you guys is the grade book. Sorry, guys, to be so long-winded, but it's very necessary. Okay, very, very necessary. If you go to the grade book, then you'll see that everything that you do will show up here. The online will show up here. I will cut and paste those in at the end of the week because that's not linked to the system, Canvas. But the online's here. And then you'll actually be able to see what you got in every class. Right now, there's no scores for any of these, but this is all the points that are possible for Module 1. Okay, so I will tell you that it can happen. And then when later on in the semester, when we have more stuff available, you can actually like figure out what grades you're going to need to get in order to get whatever grade you want out of the class. Okay, calculate grades based on assignments. See? All right, so I think that's everything. All right, guys. So I'm looking forward to meeting you guys in the first announcement. I'm going to probably send out an introduction later on today. And I hope this is very informative for you. For people, okay, you can see the people that are in your class. I will tell you, making friends is so important. Emailing each other, like my other class had a WhatsApp going, and they were hitting each other. So these are all the people that are in the class right now. But I expect everyone here to have a picture next to their name eventually that I can use to reference, as well as we'll have a way of talking to each other. Okay. So that's basically it, guys. We're trying something new, both of us. So remember, if you want to go someplace you've never been, you're going to have to do some things you've never did. So it's going to be a great journey. Let me know if there's anything you need. Again, I'm available all the time, and just be a little patient with the first 48 hours because normally it's a bog down of emails, and I just want to make sure I get to everybody. Thank you so much, guys. And make sure you follow things in order. I'm just going to say this one more time. Follow things in order when you're going through the module, because sometimes the previous thing's needed to unlock the next thing. So hit that, then hit that, then hit that, then hit that. You're done for the 6th. Okay, and the 6th is really bulky. There's a lot of stuff to do on the 6th, which is Monday. So let's get it in order. All right. Rush Mahabra, once again, it's great meeting you guys, and I will see you on the flip side. Adios.